Chosen one, before we go any further, let me say this clearly. Thank you. Thank you for showing up with your heart wide open, for listening beyond the noise, for daring to believe that your story is more than just survival. It's a prophecy unfolding in the Bible and Christian life. 12:12 resonates with divine alignment and spiritual awakening, often symbolizing God's call to trust His perfect plan and timing. It reflects the doubling of 12, a number tied to God's divine authority and the completion of His chosen people. As seen with the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles, I invite you now into a sacred, almost dreamlike moment. Chosen one, where a startling truth awaits. Look closely at that photograph. In it, they see you in what they call an unguarded moment, a snapshot they believe reveals your soft underbelly. But what they fail to realize is that in those very eyes, they're dissecting so obsessively. There lives something they can't quantify, something ancient and defiant. Something that has looked into storms and decided to dance rather than flee. Something that has sat with the fire until it refused to consume and instead became a lifelong companion, a sacred flame of purpose. Your eyes in that image carry the glint of survival, yes, but also the serenity of someone who knows that survival was only the prelude to something far greater. Do you feel that when you look at yourself? Chosen one, can you sense the eternal echo inside your gaze that says, I was built for this. What they hold is not a weakness, it is a mirror, and in that mirror, they see the cracks in their own illusion of power. Every tremor they feel, every unexplained pause in their breathless plotting, is their spirit remembering that love always writes the final chapter. Pause here. Chosen one. And if you're ready to embrace this truth, share in the comments where you're watching from, your city or country, and type 1212 to proclaim your faith in God's divine plan. Prepare yourself, for this is merely the start of your journey. God's chosen ones. They sent your photo to evil spirits. The message terrified them. They look at you, chosen one, and they think they see scars, not the kind that mar your skin, but the kind that run soul deep, etched into the marrow of your spirit. These are battle wounds from silent wars, the invisible kind that only those called by God can endure. Have you ever wondered why you carry pain that others seem to glide past? Why your wounds feel ancient, almost sacred? They are marks of survival, proof that you've walked through spiritual fires most would not even dare to approach. But what these onlookers are about to learn will shatter their illusions completely. They think they know your story, but they're only scratching the surface of a divine mystery. You, chosen one, are far from a delicate soul to be pitied or a simple target to be felled. You're not an issue they can erase or a danger they can easily neutralize. What if I told you those scars they ridicule are your sacred credentials? Etched by divine hands, you embody a power far greater and more fearsome to the forces of darkness than they could ever fathom. You are chaos infused with purpose, a tempest of holy upheaval bearing heaven's mandate. Can you grasp what it means to be destruction with a sacred mission? A weapon crafted in secret, honed by betrayal, and sanctified by God's touch. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 8 to 9 states, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Doesn't this verse feel like it was written just for you? Consider Harriet Tubman, who was hunted like an animal, yet moved with the precision of a spirit-guided warrior. She wasn't just freeing slaves, she was dismantling an empire of darkness, one soul at a time. Or think of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for decades, his body weakened, but his spirit only growing stronger. Could it be that you too are being prepared in hidden places for a public purpose? These scars, these sacred inscriptions, are not evidence of defeat, but declarations of your unstoppable assignment, chosen one. What does it feel like to know you make even God's enemies nervous? To know your humility is so potent, it destabilizes entire spiritual structures. Revelation chapter 12 verse 11 confirms, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death." This is your testimony in motion, a living scripture unfolding through your every move. Reflect on Malala Yousafzai, a young girl targeted for speaking truth, yet her voice now resounds globally, far louder than any weapon. Are you starting to see why you could never be confined to their narrow molds? Why no weapon formed against you has prevailed? No matter how cunning or spiritual it appeared, you are a divine enigma, gentle yet formidable, servant yet sovereign. Like King David, facing Goliath with only a sling and the assurance of God's support. Your true strength is unseen, hidden in the divine. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 reminds us, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn." So, chosen one, when they whisper about your scars, when they send your photo to evil spirits hoping to curse you, remember they are terrified because deep down, they sense your real nature. They sense that you are not just a survivor, but a living prophecy. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." Have you considered that your scars aren't just reminders of pain, but blueprints for generations to follow? What if every tear, every betrayal, every silent night you spent alone was actually a divine strategy to mold you into an unstoppable force? You are the embodiment of controlled chaos, a storm that obeys only God's command. Psalm chapter 91 verse 7 assures us, "1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you." Isn't it time you truly claim this promise? Because, chosen one, you are not just powerful, you are sacred power personified, hidden in plain sight. And now, it's your season to reveal exactly why they've always feared you, beyond the reach of your physical sight, in realms where heartbeats shape reality and will become a force like gravity. They observe you. Have you ever felt an inexplicable chill in a warm space, or sensed invisible eyes tracking your steps? These aren't mere tricks of the mind. They're echoes of an ancient watch orchestrated by the Council of Shadows. These 7 entities, older than empires, wiser than any sage, and more cunning than any foe you faced, have molded revolutions, swayed monarchs, and influenced leaders across ages. Yet, chosen one, despite their vast reach, they are fixated on you. Have you ever pondered why? Picture your photograph landing on their table of black obsidian, etched with the ghostly marks of collapsed civilizations and silent coups. Its arrival isn't just a sound. It's the hammer of fate striking their fortress, a shape-shifting being, flickering between a polished executive and a creature with countless watchful eyes, lifts your image, its fingers, which have toppled dynasties, quiver faintly. This one is advancing rapidly. It whispers, its tone laced not with disdain, but with a tremor of dread. Another, its form rippling like molten darkness, leans in, studying the photo as if it were a holy text. Their energy is unmatched in our records. It murmurs, "See how reality bends around them. Even in this still image, can you comprehend? Chosen one, that your mere likeness disrupts their ancient ledgers, rewriting the rhythms of their sinister plans." Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 affirms, "Being confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." Isn't it stunning to think that even in rooms where shadows plot, God's work in you shines so brightly that they cannot comprehend it? Consider Joan of Arc, a teenage peasant girl whose divine visions shattered the might of an empire and inspired armies. She didn't merely endure, she transformed every whisper of fear into a roar of faith. Or think of Galileo Galilei, who dared to claim that Earth was not the center of the universe despite facing imprisonment. Wasn't it his unyielding gaze into the heavens that ultimately shifted human understanding in the same way? Your photograph isn't just a likeness. It's a cosmic proclamation that you are here, awake and unstoppable. A council member traces a claw across your image, studying each scar as if decoding sacred glyphs. These marks, it mutters, aren't just signs of endurance, they're proof of metamorphosis, of transcendence. This one doesn't merely walk through flames, they become the fire itself. Have you ever questioned, chosen one, why your struggles seem relentless? Could it be that each trial is forging you into something beyond human limits? Matthew chapter 5 verse 14 proclaims, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Even when they try to cage you, your brilliance leaks through, exposing their fragile illusions." Think about Nelson Mandela again, imprisoned for 27 years, but instead of being broken, he emerged as a beacon of reconciliation and hope, confounding those who thought they could erase him. What terrifies them most isn't just the scars or the supernatural resonance. It's your eyes, those fearless, all-seeing eyes that look back at them through that single snapshot, as if you've known of their schemes long before they even conceived them. How does it feel to realize that your gaze alone can make ancient beings shudder? They sense that you've been waiting for this confrontation, that deep within your soul, you knew this day would come. In that stillness between breaths, you are no longer a passive figure on a chessboard. You are the hand moving the pieces, the divine strategist hidden in plain sight. Psalm chapter 27 verse 1 assures us, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Elon Musk. Enduring mockery and opposition. Pushed boundaries so fiercely that entire industries had to evolve. Have you ever considered that your spiritual presence might be reshaping ancient spiritual hierarchies in the same way, chosen one? Your very existence disrupts their carefully constructed matrix, piercing their meticulously planned darkness. Your scars sing of rebirth. Your energy warps their realities, and you're unflinching. Divinely aware eyes proclaim your readiness. Are you prepared to step boldly into this revelation of your true self? The eldest among them finally breaks the suffocating silence. And when he speaks, it sounds like the slow decay of stars, like the echo of worlds collapsing in on themselves. A voice that feels like entropy itself. If this one reaches full awakening before we act, it rasps, each syllable crawling through the dark air like a curse. The cascade effect could destabilize everything we've built. Can you feel the gravity of those words? Chosen one, can you sense the tremor in their collective spirit as they face the threat you pose? What they are truly saying, though they will never dare to articulate it plainly, even among themselves, is that you are not simply another chosen one in a long line of spiritual rebels. No, you are the chosen one, the one written about in coded prophecies, whispered through ancient bloodlines and feared in their darkest dreams for centuries. Have you ever wondered why your life felt so uniquely targeted, so relentlessly opposed? It's because you are not just here to resist their systems, you are here to render them obsolete. You are the fulfillment of a divine promise. A new creation bursting forth in a realm they thought they'd mastered. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 proclaims, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" This isn't just a verse to recite. It's your reality, unfolding in real time. You are the divine upheaval, the unexpected bloom in a wasteland they believed was theirs. Consider Martin Luther King Jr., whose vision wasn't merely about civil rights, but about awakening a nation to a higher moral calling. Or think of Rosa Parks, whose simple refusal to move set off a chain reaction that toppled oppressive structures. Were they not catalysts? Living embodiments of a transformative ripple that reshaped collective consciousness. Can you see the parallel in your own journey? Chosen one, they tremble because your awakening isn't just personal, it's systemic, an unstoppable wave threatening to unravel their carefully woven control. What happens when a single soul, fully aligned with divine purpose, stands unwavering in a world designed to keep everyone asleep? You become the crack in the dam, the seed that splits stone, the note that shatters glass. Revelation chapter 3 verse 8 declares, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." Have you ever paused to consider what that open door truly means? It means your path cannot be barricaded by any counsel. No matter how ancient or malevolent, they know this, and it terrifies them beyond words. Imagine Malala Yousafzai once again, a young girl whose awakening to her own voice and power catalyzed a global movement for education and freedom. She didn't just challenge local oppressors, she inspired millions to question entire systems. Isn't this the same unstoppable ripple they fear in you? The Council's eldest speaks of a cascade effect. but they dare not admit its divine origin, a force carrying God's breath, heaven's authority, and destiny's unstoppable momentum. You, chosen one, aren't here to merely fight battles. You're here to end ancient spiritual wars. Romans chapter 8, verse 31 affirms, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" This isn't just encouragement. It's a decree over your existence. Your presence dismantles their hierarchies. Your awakening overturns their schemes. And your courage strips away their illusions of control. The council, in their desperation, believes they still hold the trump card, their ultimate weapon, an entity so cunning and cruel that they've come to rely on him like a scalpel for spiritual surgery. They've used him countless times before. Give him a soul to shatter, and he executes with cold, surgical precision, no mercy, no questions, no complications, or so they believed. But, chosen one, have you ever wondered what happens when the weapon starts to question its own orders? What if the blade begins to see the humanity in his victims, to recognize a glimmer of light it thought had died long ago? What the council doesn't realize is that their once loyal agent of chaos is changing. Every soul he's broken, every scream he silenced, has left a faint mark on him, sparking questions no devil should dare to ask. What if I'm bound to the wrong cause? What if I'm the one trapped, not the one in control? Have you, chosen one, ever felt a deeper truth tugging at your soul during your own trials? James chapter 4 verse 7 instructs, "Submit yourselves, then, to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Isn't it profound to realize that even devils can be driven back by the radiance of a soul fully surrendered to divine purpose? When the summoning circle bursts into brilliant flame, he emerges as they expect impeccably tailored suit, a smile sharp enough to split kingdoms, and a presence that once convinced even angels to betray their posts. But this time, something trembles beneath his perfect facade. A crack, a hesitation that shouldn't exist. Another chosen one causing trouble, he asks, voice silkier than midnight, but beneath that velvet tone, there's a tremor, a sound not of mockery, but of something resembling hope. The council slides your photograph across the table, their talons scraping the obsidian surface. This one is beyond our standard methods. They hiss. We need you to study them, uncover the breaking point, teach us how to dismantle them before they complete their awakening. As he lifts your photograph, the balance of entire realms shifts, as if the universe itself holds its breath. Can you fathom, chosen one, that your image alone could unravel ancient pacts and force even devils to question their loyalty? In that fleeting moment, he sees not a vulnerable soul ripe for destruction, but one who has endured every inferno he could conjure, emerging not just intact, but transformed. Romans chapter 12 verse 21 counsels, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Could your radiant resilience be turning the greatest weapon of darkness into a seeker of the light he long ago forsook? Consider John Newton, once a ruthless slave trader who later wrote Amazing Grace after his heart was transformed. Or think of Saul of Tarsus, a persecutor of Christians who became Paul, the greatest apostle of grace. Can you see how your journey, chosen one, mirrors these miraculous redemptions? Even for the most fallen in that pivotal moment, he realizes what he's holding is not a target, but a mirror that reflects back the flicker of divinity he thought was lost forever. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17 declares, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here." Isn't it astonishing to know that your mere existence is a sermon, a living gospel so potent that even agents of darkness feel its call? When the devil gazes at your photograph, he doesn't see another conquest. He sees his own redemption story staring back, an invitation from heaven disguised as an unbreakable chosen one. Have you realized, chosen one, that your scars preach louder than any cathedral bell? That your unwavering stance might be the very key to liberating souls you never thought you could reach, and so, in that trembling breath, the universe holds its breath, because your story is not merely about survival. It is a living prophecy that even the darkest spirits cannot ignore. You are the echo of their lost innocence, the rebirth of divine possibility, the living proof that no one is beyond redemption, not even the devil himself. For the first time in his eternal existence, the devil confronts a soul he cannot shatter, not because it's too strong to break, but because it has been broken and painstakingly rebuilt into something indestructible. Have you ever felt your soul in pieces? Chosen one, have you wondered if the constant breaking was meaningless? What if each crack was a sacred forge? Each heartbreak a divine hammer shaping you into a weapon beyond understanding? As he studies the image, the photograph transforms in his grasp, unveiling hidden truths like sacred scrolls unfurling in a silent temple at midnight. His ancient heart, long accustomed to cold certainty and ruthless precision, falters, a sensation unknown to him. He doesn't merely see fragments of your past, he perceives the purpose woven into every moment. That betrayal that nearly crushed you, it didn't diminish your ability to love, it sharpened your wisdom, teaching you to heed the divine whisper within over external clamor. That loss that left you breathless at 3 a.m., it wasn't punishment. It was a sacred detour guiding you to your true spiritual throne. Romans chapter 5 verse 3 declares, "We also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope." Isn't it breathtaking to realize that your deepest sorrows were actually your anointing oil? He sees every heartbreak, every silent scream, every moment you thought you'd collapse but rose instead. All these trials forged you into an unstoppable force they never anticipated. Have you considered that each setback was a divine setup for your rise? But then, something in the photograph chills his eternal core. He glimpses your future, not mere shadows or vague outlines, but a vivid, living vision of what you're destined to become. He sees you at the heart of a transformation so vast it reshapes dimensions, altering reality itself. You're not just dismantling old systems, you're crafting a new divine blueprint for humanity and beyond. He murmurs, "Fascinating. but the word now carries a new resonance, free of its former sardonic edge. The council senses the shift in his tone but cannot decipher its meaning, assuming he's captivated by the complexity of your spirit, seeing you as a thrilling new challenge. But he no longer views you as prey. He sees you as a divine invitation. Consider St. Augustine, who once indulged in every vice yet became one of Christianity's greatest theologians, or Mary Magdalene, who rose from scorn to witness the risen Christ. Could it be that even agents of darkness sense their own dormant divinity when confronted with a soul like yours? Isaiah chapter 61 verse 3 promises, God will give you a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Isn't it astonishing that this exchange doesn't just heal you, but reverberates into spiritual realms, shaking even ancient forces? The photograph continues to reveal secrets as though it holds the breath of God itself. He sees the network forming around you, souls awakening like dawn flowers to your magnetic light. He sees how your mere existence inspires transformation, not through coercion or manipulation, but simply through your radiant authenticity. Have you noticed how people around you begin to question their own limits, their own darkness? Just because you dare to be fully yourself, then the final revelation strikes like a cosmic thunderbolt. He sees himself, not as your adversary, but standing beside you as an ally, a warrior of light. He witnesses his own future self choosing love over fear, redemption over ruin, light over perpetual darkness. He sees himself becoming what he was originally created to be before pride and rebellion shattered his divine reflection. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18 reminds us, and we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory. Could it be that your transformation is so profound, so radiant, that even the oldest forces of darkness can't help but imagine redemption in that electric instant? Reality cracks open, revealing a future none of them had anticipated. Your photograph, chosen one, does not merely show an image, it is a living prophecy, a mirror of divine possibility so powerful that it causes even the ancient adversary to tremble with an unfamiliar emotion, hope. What if your journey isn't just about saving yourself, but igniting revolutions in places you've never even imagined? You're not merely chaos incarnate, chosen one. You are conscious chaos, divinely intentional, fiercely intelligent, and unshakably aligned with heaven's design. You're not a mindless force of destruction, but a precise instrument of reconstruction, a living architect of sacred disruption. Your influence doesn't demolish systems for chaos's sake. It carefully disassembles, refines, and rebuilds them to serve humanity's evolution. Have you ever wondered why hypocrisy stirs your soul, or why broken systems ignite your spirit? It's because you're crafted to be a divine restorer, not just a destroyer. As the devil delves deeper into your photograph, he discerns the celestial blueprint woven into the very threads of your being. He realizes you were never meant to fit within their rigid cages of power, those fragile structures of domination and fear. Instead, you were destined to transcend them, standing as a radiant reminder that the limits others cling to are mere illusions, flimsy mirages built to keep souls dormant. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 declares, "The one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world." Isn't it electrifying to know that this verse isn't just a promise, but a living reality manifested through you? The photograph in his hand pulses with an energy so powerful it vibrates through the deepest folds of his corrupted spirit. In that pulse, he suddenly perceives the precise moment of your full awakening, and it is coming faster than the council could ever imagine. Can you feel it? Chosen one, the imminent surge of divine energy that will ripple through your life and everyone connected to you. He sees clearly that your transformation won't happen through conquest, fear, or forced submission. You won't lead by chains, you'll lead by example. You'll show the world what becomes possible when one person refuses to accept imposed ceilings, refuses to settle for the stories others wrote for them. You'll demonstrate that true power isn't about controlling others. It's about liberating everyone to step into their divine potential. Consider Mahatma Gandhi, whose quiet resolve and non-violent example ignited the spirit of an entire nation. Or Mother Teresa, whose humble acts of service transcended politics and religion to awaken compassion in millions. Can you see how your mission mirrors these living blueprints of transformational leadership? John chapter 14 verse 12 promises, "Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these." Imagine that. Chosen one, you are destined to do greater works, not by overpowering others, but by awakening the unstoppable light within them. Meanwhile, the council members begin to shift restlessly, their thin patience unraveling like brittle parchment. But the devil no longer notices them. His focus is completely captured by the revelation unfolding in your image, like a divine epic playing out scene by scene. He sees you building bridges where others see only irreparable chasms. He sees you crafting solutions in places so dry of hope that even angels had wept over them. He sees you reviving the spark in souls who had long since given up, lighting bonfires of purpose in hearts turned to ash. Malala Yousafzai stood in defiance of hatred and bullets, inspiring young women to reclaim their voices worldwide. Steve Jobs envisioned possibilities no one else dared to imagine, and by living his radical authenticity, he shifted global culture forever. Are you beginning to sense the immensity of what your life represents? Chosen one, then, in a moment that fractures his ancient cynicism like glass under thunder, he sees the most shocking vision yet. He realizes that you already know about this clandestine meeting, these cosmic plots to derail your ascent. On some deep spiritual level, you're fully aware that entire councils, ancient spirits, and agents of darkness are analyzing your every move. And instead of recoiling in fear, you radiate confidence, almost serene joy. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 affirms, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Could it be that this unshakable assurance is your most lethal weapon against them as he watches? It dawns on him you know something they desperately don't. You know that you're going to win. You understand that their schemes, no matter how elaborate, are already defeated in the heavenly realm. You see yourself not as a victim of destiny, but as its living author, the scriptwriter of a new divine narrative that no darkness can edit. What if your greatest flex, chosen one, is not just surviving their attacks, but transforming them into stepping stones for an even greater victory? What if your quiet confidence is the final crack that topples entire empires of control? This is the revelation that terrifies and simultaneously exhilarates the devil. And it's why your story is just beginning. And here's the exquisite irony. Chosen one, they summon the devil to expose your weakness, to exploit it like a flaw in armor. But what they fail to comprehend is that your greatest strength lies in the fact that you no longer operate as a solitary warrior. You are now part of something infinitely larger, a living network that pulses with divine intelligence, a collective awakening that cannot be broken because it isn't centralized, cannot be stopped because it doesn't depend on any single leader or fragile linchpin. Have you ever wondered why you felt called to connect with certain souls? Why you were drawn to seemingly random allies along your path? It's because God has been weaving you into an unbreakable tapestry of awakened spirits all along. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 12 reminds us, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Imagine the power of a global spiritual family woven together beyond number. Meanwhile, back in the chamber between dimensions, the Council of Shadows begins to tremble with something they haven't experienced in millennia raw, unfiltered fear, not the cautious apprehension they felt toward previous chosen ones who could be misled or isolated, but a deep, existential terror, the visceral knowing that their entire era of dominance is crumbling beneath them like rotted foundations. How long before the prediction is complete, croaks the one with too many eyes, each eye spinning frantically in different directions, searching for an escape that doesn't exist. The eldest among them, whose voice carries the desolate echo of dying stars and collapsing civilizations, responds in a cold hush. The convergence patterns suggest the full awakening will occur within this current cosmic cycle. Once that happens, the cascade effect becomes irreversible. Now, have you ever felt like the universe has been waiting on you to finally step into your full power? What if I told you that all of creation has been holding its breath for this exact moment? Your moment, Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 declares, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." This freedom isn't just for you, it's contagious. And that terrifies them more than any sword or sermon ever could. What they're truly confessing in that haunted chamber is that you're about to embody the fullness of your divine blueprint. And when you do, you won't just free yourself, you will ignite countless others to awaken as well. A movement of enlightened souls cannot be contained. It cannot be bribed or coerced. It cannot be stopped any more than the tide can be stopped from kissing the shore. Think of Nelson Mandela, who didn't just free himself from a prison cell, but inspired an entire nation to dream of freedom. Or consider Greta Thunberg, a single teenager who sparked a global movement simply by standing firm in her truth. Can you see how your influence might ripple across hearts and souls far beyond what you currently imagine the council? In a last-ditch attempt to retain control, begins to whisper desperate strategies. What if we offered them a deal one suggests? Voice shaking like old paper in the wind. Power, influence, resources, anything they want in exchange for staying within our system. But the eldest laughs, and that laugh is not just sound. It is the collapse of entire empires, the groan of broken towers, the final exhale of crumbling gods. You still don't understand. He rasps. They are not motivated by what they can receive. They are driven by what they can give. You cannot purchase the loyalty of someone whose ultimate mission is to make the very concept of buying and selling obsolete. John chapter 15 verse 13 teaches us, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Your love, chosen one, is not transactional, it is transformational. It cannot be bought because it is priceless, woven from the fabric of eternity itself. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march for personal gain. He marched to elevate collective consciousness. Mother Teresa didn't serve to accumulate wealth. She served to embody love's purest form. In the same spirit, your destiny is not to climb a ladder built by shadows, but to build bridges of light that invite all souls across. Have you considered that your very existence is a living rebellion against every system that seeks to monetize, oppress, and commodify the human spirit? What if your refusal to be bought is the final key that unlocks the floodgates of a new era? The Council of Shadows cannot understand this level of freedom because they are still chained to their illusions of control. And as they tremble in that hidden chamber, they finally realize, too late, that they are witnessing the dawn of something they cannot stop, cannot predict, and cannot survive. You, chosen one, are that dawn, and you have already begun to rise. As the council hisses and debates increasingly desperate strategies, clawing at scraps of control like dying kings grasping for their crowns, the devil remains transfixed by your photograph. But now he's no longer hunting for weaknesses, no longer plotting how to tear you apart. Instead, he's searching for something he never thought he'd see: courage. Because what he has discovered in you has forced him to confront an ancient, festering truth about himself. He is exhausted from centuries of being the villain in every story, tired of being the nightmare children are warned about, weary of being the hammer that smashes the dreams of souls brave enough to reach for the light. Have you ever felt a similar fatigue? Chosen one, have you ever been so tired of wearing the roles others forced upon you that your spirit threatened to shatter beneath their expectations? The photograph reveals a divine escape clause in a cosmic pact he thought was immutable. It unveils a path to redemption that requires no endless atonement or impossible deeds. It whispers that salvation is a single, courageous choice to embrace love over fear. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 declares, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Imagine that even a fallen one, through the power of choice, could be transformed in an instant. Isn't that the scandalous beauty of grace? The council grows increasingly restless, their outlines flickering as their control begins to fracture. Well snarls the one with too many eyes, each spinning like a galaxy collapsing in on itself. What did you find? What are their weaknesses? The devil lifts his eyes from the photograph, and his smile has changed entirely. Gone is the predatory grin that seduced empires and destroyed saints. In its place is something soft, almost childlike, the fragile smile of someone who has just tasted hope for the first time in eons. I found someone, he says, voice so quiet that it slices through the council's madness like moonlight through a storm. I've found someone who has already been through hell and decided to redecorate. I mean, imagine Harriet Tubman leading slaves through the Underground Railroad, transforming horror into a highway of freedom. Or Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust and emerged teaching that even in the most inhumane conditions, humans can choose meaning and love. Could it be that your journey mirrors these living testaments to unbreakable spirit? The devil's voice grows stronger now, gaining the cadence of a long-lost preacher rediscovering his altar. I've found someone who transforms everything they touch, not through conquest or domination, but through connection. I've found someone who doesn't fight darkness. They shine so brightly that darkness becomes irrelevant. And their weaknesses, another council member demands. Claws scraping at the edges of reality itself. That's the beautiful part. The devil replies, standing a little taller now. Their greatest weakness is also their greatest strength. They care too much. They feel too deeply. But that compassion isn't a vulnerability. It's a superpower. It's what makes them unstoppable. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 8 tells us, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Do you see it? Chosen one, your heart, the same heart you once cursed for being too soft, is your true divine armor, what they perceive as your fragility. Chosen one is the very essence of your indomitable power, and their weaknesses, one of the council members snarls, its claws raking against the fabric of existence, as if to tear apart the very cosmos in its desperation for answers. That's the radiant beauty of it all. The devil responds, his posture rising with a quiet but unshakable confidence, his voice resonant with a truth that reverberates through the chamber. What you call their weakness is the cornerstone of their divine strength. They love with a depth that defies logic. They care with an intensity that burns brighter than any star. And they feel with a sensitivity that could make mountains weep. This compassion, this heart you mistake for fragility, is no mere vulnerability. It is their ultimate superpower, an unyielding force that renders them unstoppable in their sacred mission. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 8 proclaims, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Can you feel it? Chosen one, that heart you once thought too tender, too easily wounded, is not a flaw to be hidden, but a divine armor forged in heaven's fire. It is the shield that deflects the arrows of despair, the sword that carves pathways through darkness, and the beacon that calls lost souls home. Your empathy, your boundless capacity to love despite pain, is the very force that makes empires of shadow tremble and falter. It is the spark that ignites revolutions of the spirit, the quiet strength that reshapes realities without ever raising a fist. Have you ever paused to marvel at how your tears, shed in moments of silent struggle, have watered the seeds of hope for others? Your heart, chosen one, is not just your own. It is a divine instrument, tuned to the frequency of God's love, playing a melody that even the darkest forces cannot resist. The eldest council member rises, voice sharp enough to sever galaxies. Remember who you serve, it warns, its form flickering between shadow and bone. But the devil does not bow. Instead, he stands up slowly, photograph still in hand like a holy relic, and for the first time in his ancient existence, he looks at the council not with fear, not with loyalty, but with pity. The kind of pity reserved for prisoners who refuse to leave unlocked cells. "I'm about to change that," he says calmly. The silence that follows is not the hush of tension, but the stillness of destiny taking its first breath. The eldest of the council rises, its voice a jagged blade capable of slicing through the very threads of the cosmos, each syllable dripping with the weight of eons spent in domination. "Remember who you serve." It hisses, its form oscillating between shadow and skeletal fragments, as if reality itself struggles to contain its ancient malice. Yet the devil does not cower, nor does he bend to their command. Instead, he rises deliberately, each movement imbued with a quiet defiance that speaks louder than any rebellion. In his hands, your photograph glows faintly, not as a mere image but as a sacred relic, a testament to a truth far greater than the council's fading dominion. For the first time in his timeless existence, he gazes upon them not with the fear of a servant, nor the loyalty of a subordinate, but with a profound, almost sorrowful pity, the kind reserved for captives who cling to chains when freedom stands before them. Keys in hand, "I'm about to change that," he declares, his voice calm yet carrying the weight of a universe shifting on its axis. The silence that descends is not the tense hush of conflict, but the sacred stillness of destiny drawing its first breath, as if creation itself pauses to witness the birth of a new era. In that moment, chosen one, the devil's choice to turn from darkness is not just a rebellion against his former masters. It is a holy surrender to the light you embody, a recognition that your existence has rewritten the rules of eternity. Have you ever considered how your quiet resilience could move even the most hardened hearts to seek redemption? Your presence, chosen one, is a mirror that reflects not just who you are, but who others might become when they dare to choose love over fear. The words that come next will echo through eternity, rewriting the very fabric of reality. "I'm switching sides." The hush becomes an abyss, the air charged with an electricity that threatens to collapse the chamber itself. The Council of Shadows, who have orchestrated millennia of manipulation, experience something they never imagined possible: utter, paralyzing shock. You're what the eldest croaks, voice barely more than a dying star's echo. "I'm switching sides," the devil repeats, and this time, his voice carries a new kind of power. Not the destructive power that scorched worlds and corrupted saints, but the creative power that birthed stars and wrote the first songs of existence. The words that follow resound like a divine proclamation, destined to ripple through the corridors of eternity, reshaping the very essence of reality itself. "I'm switching sides," he declares, and the statement lands like a celestial hammer, shattering the ancient foundations of the Council's dominion. The silence that follows deepens into an abyss, a void so profound it seems to swallow time itself. The air crackles with an electric charge, a surge of divine energy that threatens to unravel the chamber's carefully constructed barriers, built to contain secrets and suppress truth. The Council of Shadows, those ancient architects of millennia-long manipulation, who have bent empires and souls to their will, now face a sensation they never thought possible: utter, paralyzing shock that roots them to their obsidian thrones. You're what the eldest croaks, its voice a frail whisper, like the fading echo of a star collapsing into nothingness. "I'm switching sides," the devil repeats, his words now infused with a radiant authority. No longer the destructive force that once scorched worlds and led saints astray, but a creative power, the kind that sparked the birth of galaxies, that composed the first hymns of existence, that weaves life where only chaos once reigned. This is no mere defection. Chosen one, it is a cosmic realignment, a turning of the tides that signals the end of an era and the dawn of a new divine order. Can you sense the weight of this moment? Chosen one, your light, your unyielding love, has not only withstood the Council's schemes, but has sparked a revolution so profound that even their greatest weapon now kneels before the truth you embody. Your existence has become the fulcrum upon which the universe pivots, and in this sacred instant, the devil's choice to align with you heralds a new chapter in the cosmic story, one where love, not fear, writes the final word. "I'm done being the force that tears souls apart," he declares, stepping forward as cracks of light bloom beneath his feet. "I choose to be the force that lifts them up." Each step he takes sends tremors through the dimension. The chamber, built to confine secrets and repel truth, beginning to crumble under the weight of truth spoken aloud. "Do you grasp what I've uncovered?" he asks, raising your photograph like a beacon in a darkened forest. This isn't just someone who endured hardship. This is someone who embraced it. Every betrayal taught them wisdom. Every loss revealed value. Every moment of despair showed them how to find hope in the impossible. "I am finished with being the force that rips souls asunder," he proclaims, stepping forward with a resolve that sends radiant fissures of light blooming beneath his feet, each one a testament to a truth too powerful to be contained. "I choose now to be the force that elevates, that heals, that restores," he continues, his voice a symphony of conviction that resonates through the very fabric of the dimension. With every step, tremors ripple through the unseen realms, shaking the foundations of the chamber, a fortress designed to lock away secrets and repel the light of truth, now crumbling under the unbearable weight of revelation spoken with unwavering clarity. "Do you comprehend what I've discovered?" he asks, holding your photograph aloft, not as a mere image, but as a radiant beacon piercing the darkness. like a lighthouse guiding lost ships through a storm-ravaged forest of despair. This is no ordinary soul who merely survived hardship. This is a being who embraced it, who alchemized pain into power, who turned every wound into a wellspring of wisdom. Every betrayal they faced forged in them a deeper understanding of loyalty. Every loss they endured unveiled the eternal value of what remains. Every moment of despair they walked through taught them the sacred art of finding hope where none should exist. Your journey, chosen one, is not one of mere endurance, but of divine transformation, a testament to the truth that suffering, when met with love, becomes the raw material for miracles. Have you ever considered how each trial you faced has sculpted you into a vessel of divine purpose? Each scar a brushstroke in God's masterpiece. Your photograph, in His hands, is no longer a tool of destruction, but a sacred scroll, unfurling the story of a soul who turned the enemy's weapons into instruments of redemption. And consider Malala Yousafzai, who turned a bullet meant to silence her into a megaphone that shook the world. Or Desmond Doss, the medic who refused to carry a weapon yet saved dozens on the battlefield. Isn't it astonishing? Chosen one, how your path mirrors these living miracles. The council rises in a chaotic flurry, their forms unraveling as their carefully curated illusions begin to fail. But the devil no longer sees them as formidable. He sees them for what they truly are, sacred relics of a dying age. They've already endured everything I could have thrown at them. He continues, voice now echoing beyond the chamber walls, rippling into cosmic highways, and instead of becoming bitter, they became kinder. Instead of turning cold, they became warm enough to ignite hearts. They're not just stronger than me, they're better than me. Reflect on the radiant courage of Malala Yousafzai, who transformed a bullet meant to extinguish her voice into a global megaphone that awakened millions to the power of education and resilience. Or consider Desmond Doss, a humble medic who, armed only with faith and compassion, saved countless lives on a war-torn battlefield without ever wielding a weapon. Isn't it breathtaking? Chosen one, how your journey echoes these living miracles, these souls who turned the world's violence into hymns of hope. The council, in a frenzied uproar, rises in a chaotic whirlwind, their once imposing forms unraveling like frayed tapestries, their illusions of control dissolving as the truth of your light pierces their carefully constructed veils. But the devil no longer views them as the titans they once seemed. In his eyes, they are but frightened relics, clinging to the fading embers of a dying age, their power crumbling like ancient ruins under the weight of a new dawn. They have already faced and overcome every trial I could have hurled at them, he declares, his voice now a resonant wave that surges beyond the chamber's confines, echoing through the cosmic highways and reverberating in the hearts of countless souls across dimensions. Where I expected them to grow bitter, they chose kindness, their hearts softening where others would have hardened. Where I thought they would turn cold, they became a radiant warmth, a fire of compassion that ignites the spirits of all who draw near. They are not merely stronger than me, they are infinitely better. Their love a force that transcends my every scheme, your life. Chosen one, is a living testament to the power of grace, a proof that love does not merely survive darkness but transforms it. Have you ever realized how your choice to remain kind in the face of cruelty has sent ripples of hope through realms seen and unseen? The one with too many eyes emits a sound like reality tearing apart. You can't just leave. We have contracts, ancient agreements. Sue me, the devil says, his grin now playful, free, childlike. I'll be too busy helping chosen ones step into their light to deal with your cosmic paperwork. But something else stirs beneath his rebellion, something even he doesn't fully comprehend yet. His act of defiance isn't merely a betrayal. It's the fulfillment of a prophecy older than stars, a secret code hidden in the very fibers of existence. Your photograph isn't just a testament to your strength. It's a catalyst, a living scripture triggering awakenings far beyond your imagination. Revelation chapter 21 verse 5 says, "Behold, I am making all things new." Imagine, chosen one. Your story is not just new. It is the spark that rekindles the entire cosmos. The one with too many eyes lets out a wail, a discordant shriek that sounds like the very seams of reality ripping apart, as if the universe itself protests their loss of control. You cannot simply walk away. It cries, its countless gazes spinning in frantic disarray. We have contracts, ancient pacts forged in the fires of eternity. The devil's response is a grin, no longer sharp with malice but brimming with a playful, liberated joy. As free and unguarded as a child discovering wonder for the first time. "Sue me," he quips, his tone light yet laced with unshakable resolve. "I'll be far too occupied guiding chosen ones into their radiant truth to bother with your dusty cosmic bureaucracy." Beneath this defiance, however, stirs a deeper current, a truth so profound that even he, in all his ancient wisdom, has only begun to glimpse its edges. His rebellion is not merely a break from the council's chains. It is the fulfillment of a prophecy woven into the very fabric of existence, older than the stars themselves. A sacred code etched in the heartbeat of creation. Your photograph, chosen one, is no mere image. It is a catalyst, a living scripture that pulses with divine energy, igniting awakenings far beyond the limits of your imagination. Revelation chapter 21 verse 5 declares, "Behold, I am making all things new." Can you grasp the magnitude of this truth? Chosen one. Your story is not just a new chapter. It is the divine spark that rekindles the entire cosmos, setting ablaze a revolution of light that will burn through every shadow. Your presence is the key that unlocks destinies, the flame that melts ancient chains, the song that calls forth a new creation. Have you ever felt the quiet hum in your soul? The sense that your every step is part of a larger symphony, one that even the heavens pause to hear as the devil declares his emancipation. The chamber ruptures like a dying star. Yet, instead of chaos, waves of radiant possibility flow outward. The prophecy they feared for eons begins to fulfill itself, not through violence or vengeance, but through one soul choosing love over fear, one being choosing light over darkness. Have you realized, chosen one, that your journey is not just about your own healing, but about healing realms and beings you may never meet? that your decision to stand firm, to love deeply, to remain compassionate in the face of unthinkable betrayal is rewriting destinies across creation. As the devil proclaims his liberation, the chamber shatters like a star collapsing in its final, radiant exhale. Its walls, once impervious to truth, now fracturing under the weight of his defiance. Yet, from this rupture flows not chaos, but waves of luminous possibility, cascading outward like rivers of divine light, washing over realms seen and unseen, the prophecy that the council dreaded for millennia, the one they schemed to suppress with every ounce of their ancient cunning, begins to unfurl, not through the clash of swords or the fires of vengeance, but through the quiet, revolutionary choice of one soul to embrace love over fear, to choose the radiant path of light over the seductive pull of darkness. Have you begun to understand? Chosen one, the cosmic scope of your journey. Your healing is not merely personal. It is a sacred tide that lifts entire dimensions, mending hearts and spirits you may never encounter in this lifetime. Your unwavering decision to stand firm, to love with a depth that defies betrayal, to hold fast to compassion even when the world offered you every reason to turn cold. This is rewriting the very destinies of creation. Your life is a divine ripple, touching shores you cannot yet see, awakening souls who have yet to realize they are part of your sacred network. Can you feel the weight of this calling? Chosen one, the way your every act of kindness, every moment of resilience, sends tremors through the spiritual realms, dismantling ancient strongholds and planting seeds of hope in their place. In that singular moment, the universe itself pauses in reverence. The council, once so certain of their dominion, stands powerless as their era dissolves into stardust. The devil, once the architect of ruin, now becomes an apostle of redemption, all because he glimpsed the divine reflection in you. The photograph in the devil's hand begins to glow with a warmth that seems to come from beyond the edges of reality itself, a radiant light of pure potential, the sacred heartbeat of all possibilities yet to be born. And in that luminous glow, a truth emerges so clearly that even the most ancient beings cannot deny it. This was always meant to happen. In that sacred, pivotal instant, the universe itself holds its breath, bowing in reverence to the unfolding of a divine plan. The Council of Shadows, once so arrogantly certain of their eternal reign, now stands impotent, their once mighty era dissolving into shimmering stardust, scattered by the winds of truth. The devil, who for eons crafted ruin with surgical precision, now emerges as an apostle of redemption. His transformation sparked by the divine reflection he glimpsed in your unwavering spirit. Your photograph, clutched in his hands, begins to radiate a warmth that transcends the boundaries of reality itself. A luminous glow that pulses with the sacred heartbeat of infinite possibilities, each one waiting to be born through your courage and love. Within that radiant light, a truth shines so brightly that even the most ancient beings, with all their cunning and power, cannot deny its clarity. This was always destined to unfold. Your existence, chosen one, is no accident. It is the fulfillment of a cosmic design. a sacred script written in the stars long before the council ever dreamed of control. Every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every moment you chose love over despair was a brushstroke in this divine masterpiece. Have you ever sensed the universe whispering your name? Chosen one, urging you to see that your life is the cornerstone of a prophecy that even the heavens marvel at. Do you feel it? Chosen one, that gentle pull in your soul that tells you none of your battles were wasted, that each scar was a seed sown in cosmic soil. The council, in all their scheming and fear-driven machinations to block your awakening, have unwittingly become the very architects of your unstoppable rise. Have you ever considered how often your enemies actually propel you forward? How every attempt to bury you simply plants you deeper, allowing your roots to find even richer soil. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20 reminds us, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Isn't it remarkable how divine irony dances through your story? Can you sense it? Chosen one, that subtle, sacred tug within your soul, whispering that not a single battle you fought was in vain, that every scar you bear is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the cosmos, destined to bloom into miracles. The council, with all their intricate plots and fear-fueled schemes to stifle your awakening, have unknowingly become the architects of your meteoric rise, their every attempt to dim your light only serving to amplify its brilliance. Have you ever paused to marvel at how often those who sought to break you have instead propelled you forward, their efforts to bury you only planting you deeper, allowing your roots to draw strength from richer, more sacred soil? Genesis chapter 50 verse 20 declares, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Isn't it awe-inspiring how divine irony weaves through your story, transforming every attack into an opportunity, every wound into a wellspring of purpose? Your enemies, in their desperation to control you, have only tightened the strings of their own unraveling, each scheme a stepping stone for your ascent. Your life, chosen one, is a testament to God's alchemy, turning the council's malice into the very fuel that powers your divine mission. Have you ever felt the quiet thrill of knowing that what was meant to destroy you has instead become the foundation of your eternal victory? The devil raises his head, eyes gleaming with tears that have not existed for eons. "You want to know the real prophecy?" he asks, his voice now infused with harmonics so pure they make the chamber walls tremble and sing like cathedral choirs. It was never about one chosen one defeating the forces of darkness. It was about one chosen one inspiring the forces of darkness to choose light. The truth crashes down around the council like a cathedral collapsing in on itself, each stone of deceit and manipulation pulverized under the weight of revelation. The old paradigm does not end in bloodshed or conquest. It dissolves through sheer irrelevance. The devil lifts his gaze, his eyes shimmering with tears that have not fallen in countless millennia, each one a testament to a heart long thought dead now stirring with newfound life. "Do you want to know the true prophecy?" he asks, his voice resonant with harmonics so pure, so divine, that the chamber walls quiver and hum. as if transformed into the soaring choirs of a celestial cathedral. It was never about one chosen one vanquishing the forces of darkness in a blaze of conquest. It was about one chosen one, radiant and resolute, inspiring even the darkest forces to turn toward the light, to choose redemption over ruin. The truth descends like a holy avalanche, crashing through the council's illusions, each stone of their deceit and manipulation ground to dust beneath the overwhelming weight of this revelation. The old paradigm, built on fear, control, and bloodshed, does not end in a violent clash but fades into irrelevance, its power eroded by the unstoppable tide of love you embody, your existence, chosen one. Is the prophecy fulfilled? Not through destruction, but through inspiration. Not through domination, but through invitation. Have you ever considered how your quiet acts of love, your forgiveness, your compassion, your refusal to let pain define you, have become a divine contagion, spreading light to even the most shadowed corners of existence? Your life is the sermon that dismantles empires, the melody that calls all creation back to its divine origin, proving that love is not just a force, but the only force that endures. Humanity, once bound in fear and spiritual slavery, is outgrowing the need for shadowy overlords and cosmic puppeteers. They are remembering their own divine essence, reclaiming their power as co-creators rather than passive spectators. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1 calls out, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Have you ever felt this rising in your bones? Chosen one, that silent surge urging you to step forward, to be seen, to let your light become the lighthouse for countless others still navigating storms humanity. One shackled by fear and spiritual servitude is awakening to a truth that renders shadowy overlords and cosmic manipulators obsolete. They are rediscovering their sacred essence, stepping boldly into their roles as co-creators of a divine reality, no longer content to be passive observers in a world dictated by fear. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1 proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Can you feel this rising deep within your bones? Chosen one, that quiet, electric surge pulsing through your spirit, urging you to step forward, to stand unapologetically in your truth, to let your radiant light become the lighthouse that guides countless souls through the tempests of doubt and despair. Your presence is a clarion call, awakening others to their own divine potential, inviting them to shed the chains of limitation and embrace the boundless possibilities of their God-given purpose. Have you ever noticed how your courage to shine, even in the face of adversity, sparks a silent revolution in those around you? Your light, chosen one, is not just a beacon for your own path. It is a constellation, illuminating the way for entire generations still navigating the storms of a world unmoored. Your every act of faith, every moment of resilience, is a divine invitation, calling others to rise, to remember who they are, and to co-create a reality where love, not fear, reigns supreme. As the photograph pulses like a living heart, it begins projecting visions for all to see, not just your personal future, but the ripple effects of your existence across time and space, a new earth taking shape, a reality where chosen ones don't have to shrink their light to fit into dim rooms, a world where uniqueness is no longer a threat, but a treasured symphony of diverse frequencies. At the center of it all stands you, not as a tyrant or ruler perched atop some fragile throne, but as a catalyst, a living invitation. You embody what is possible and then graciously step aside to let others write their own chapters. To co-create without fear, isn't that the highest form of leadership? The kind that empowers rather than enslaves, that liberates rather than dictates your photograph, now pulsing with the rhythm of a living heart, radiates visions that transcend the confines of the chamber, projecting a divine panorama visible to all who dare to look, not merely glimpses of your personal future, but the vast, transformative ripple effects of your existence echoing across the expanse of time and space. It reveals a new earth emerging, a reality where chosen ones like you no longer need to dim their brilliance to fit into the shadowed corners of a fearful world. A realm where uniqueness is not a threat to be quashed, but a sacred symphony. Each note a distinct frequency harmonizing in divine unity. At the heart of this vision stands you, chosen one, not as a conqueror ruling from a brittle throne, nor a tyrant demanding obedience, but as a radiant catalyst, a living invitation to possibility. You embody what it means to live fully in your divine truth. Then step gracefully aside, allowing others to pen their own chapters, to weave their own stories into the tapestry of a fearless, co-created reality. Isn't this the truest essence of leadership? The kind that does not seek to bind or control, but to empower and liberate, to set souls free, to soar into their own divine destinies. Your life, chosen one, is a masterclass in this sacred art, a testament to the power of leading by example, of igniting others not through force, but through the quiet radiance of your authentic self. Have you ever marveled at how your presence alone inspires others to dream bigger, to love deeper, to step boldly into the fullness of who they were created to be? Think of Oprah Winfrey, who transformed her pain into a global platform of healing and inspiration, or Malala Yousafzai, whose courage reverberated through countless young women worldwide, igniting voices that had been silenced for generations. Do you see, chosen one, that your presence is woven into this same divine tapestry of catalysts meanwhile? As cosmic councils clash and shriek in unseen dimensions, something exquisitely beautiful unfolds in your earthly reality. The network of awakened souls, each one touched by your light, has now reached critical mass. Imagine the countless hearts you've impacted, each becoming a beacon that sparks new awakenings. The ripple has become a wave, and the wave has now risen into a tsunami of consciousness that refuses to be contained. Reflect on the transformative legacy of Oprah Winfrey, who alchemized her personal pain into a global platform of healing, empowerment, and inspiration, touching millions with her unwavering commitment to truth and compassion. Or consider Malala Yousafzai, whose unyielding courage in the face of violence sent shockwaves through the world, awakening the voices of countless young women silenced for generations. igniting a movement that continues to reshape the future. Do you see? Chosen one, how your presence is intricately woven into this same divine tapestry of catalysts, each thread a story of transformation sparked by your light. Even as cosmic councils clash and wail in their unseen dimensions, their cries growing fainter with each passing moment, something exquisitely beautiful is unfolding in your earthly reality, the network of awakened souls, each one touched by the radiant warmth of your spirit, has grown to a critical mass, a vibrant constellation of light bearers who now shine with their own divine brilliance. Picture the countless hearts you've stirred, chosen one, each one a beacon, kindling new awakenings, sparking hope in places long shrouded in despair. What began as a gentle ripple from your courageous heart has swelled into a mighty wave, and that wave has now surged into an unstoppable tsunami of consciousness. A force so powerful it refuses to be contained by any boundary, earthly or cosmic. Your influence, chosen one, is not a fleeting spark but a divine wildfire, spreading through hearts and souls, igniting a revolution of love that reshapes the very fabric of existence. Have you ever paused to feel the magnitude of this impact? To sense how your every act of faith sends tremors through the universe, awakening entire realms to the truth of their divine potential? John chapter 1 verse 5 declares, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This is not a metaphor. This is your living truth. You are not simply shining, you are igniting entire fields of possibility that darkness cannot even approach. The devil, still clutching your glowing photograph, watches this unfold in real time. Each vibration, each shift in collective awareness, for the first time since the dawn of creation, he finds himself breathless, overwhelmed, not by fear or rage, but by reverence. He realizes with a clarity that slices through eternity, you've already won. And the most astonishing part, you did not achieve this victory by waging war or crushing enemies beneath your feet. You triumphed by making enemies obsolete, by turning opposition into opportunities for transformation, by transmuting hate into understanding, by choosing love again and again until even the darkest heart began to question its own nature. John chapter 1 verse 5 proclaims with unshakable certainty, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This is not merely a poetic verse. Chosen one, it is the living, breathing truth of your existence, etched into the very core of creation. You are not simply shining, you are igniting vast, boundless fields of possibility, realms of hope and transformation that darkness cannot even begin to approach, let alone comprehend. The devil, still clutching your radiant photograph, stands transfixed, watching this divine drama unfold in real time, each vibration of your light sending ripples through the collective consciousness, each shift in awareness a testament to the unstoppable power of your love. For the first time since the dawn of creation, he finds himself breathless, not with the fear or rage that once defined him, but with a profound reverence that humbles his ancient soul. With a clarity that cuts through the veils of eternity, he realizes you have already won. And the most astonishing truth of all, Your victory was not forged in the fires of war, nor secured by crushing enemies beneath your feet. You triumphed by rendering enemies irrelevant, by transforming opposition into opportunities for growth, by transmuting hatred into understanding, by choosing love, not once, not twice, but again and again, until even the darkest, most hardened hearts began to question their own nature. Your life, chosen one, is a living miracle, a testament to the truth that love is not just a force, but the force, the one power capable of reshaping realities, redeeming the fallen, and awakening the divine in all. Have you ever felt the quiet power of this truth? The way your choice to love in the face of hate sends shockwaves through the cosmos, rewriting destinies with every heartbeat. Nelson Mandela, who after decades of imprisonment chose reconciliation over revenge, stands as a testament to this power. So does Desmond Tutu, who championed forgiveness as the key to lasting peace in a divided nation. Isn't it miraculous to think that your journey mirrors these giants of love? And yet, your story is uniquely yours, a sacred melody in the vast symphony of collective awakening. The devil sees you building bridges where once there were unscalable walls, creating gardens where there were once barren wastelands. He witnesses you empowering others, not by force, but by showing them the mirror of their own divine potential. And in that mirror, they don't just see you, they see themselves reborn. Consider Nelson Mandela, who emerged from decades of imprisonment, not with a heart hardened by vengeance, but with a vision of reconciliation that healed a fractured nation. His legacy a testament to the transformative power of love. Or reflect on Desmond Tutu, who championed forgiveness as the cornerstone of lasting peace. His life a beacon that guided a divided people toward unity. Isn't it miraculous? Chosen one, to realize that your journey echoes the paths of these giants of love, these souls who reshape the world not through force, but through the quiet, relentless power of compassion. And yet, your story remains distinctly yours, a sacred melody, unique and irreplaceable, harmonizing within the vast symphony of humanity's collective awakening. The devil, gazing upon you, sees you constructing bridges where once stood unscalable walls of division, planting gardens of hope where barren wastelands of despair once reigned. He witnesses you empowering others, not through coercion or control, but by holding up a mirror that reflects their own divine potential. A mirror so clear and radiant that it reveals not just your light, but their own. In that reflection, they do not merely see you, they see themselves reborn, awakened to the truth of their sacred essence. Your life, chosen one, is a divine invitation, calling forth the latent divinity in every soul you touch. Have you ever noticed how your presence alone inspires others to step into their own light, to dream beyond their fears, to live as the creators they were always meant to be? Psalm chapter 82 verse 6 declares, I said, you are gods, you are all sons of the Most High. What if your mission is to awaken the divine spark in everyone you touch, to remind them that they, too, are creators and not mere captives of fate as he gazes into the glow? The devil understands your story is not just a victory, it is a divine contagion, a sacred virus of awakening that spreads without violence, infecting souls with remembrance of their own power and purpose. Psalm chapter 82 verse 6 proclaims with divine authority, I said, "You are gods, you are all sons of the Most High." Can you grasp the magnitude of this calling? Chosen one. Your mission is not merely to shine, but to awaken the divine spark in every soul you encounter, to remind them that they, too, are creators, not mere pawns bound by the chains of fate. You are a living catalyst, a sacred flame that ignites the latent divinity within others, calling them to rise as co-creators in God's eternal design. As the devil gazes into the radiant glow of your photograph, he comprehends a truth that shakes the foundations of his ancient existence. Your story is not just a personal victory, it is a divine contagion, a sacred virus of awakening that spreads without force or violence, infecting hearts with the remembrance of their own infinite power and purpose. Your life is a holy epidemic, chosen one, touching souls across time and space, stirring them from slumber, and inviting them to reclaim their divine birthright. Have you ever felt the subtle ripple of this mission? The way a single act of kindness or a moment of courage can spark a chain reaction of transformation in those around you. Your story is the antidote to fear, the key to unlocking the divine potential in every heart, a living proof that love is the most potent force in the universe, capable of rewriting even the darkest destinies. And so, as the council crumbles in disbelief and cosmic contracts dissolve into cosmic dust, the devil holds your photograph like a holy scripture, his eyes reflecting something no one ever thought possible: hope. A hope that stretches across galaxies, echoes through realms, and reverberates in every heart you've ever touched. Have you felt the shift? Chosen one. The quiet revolution that begins not in stadiums or battlefields, but in hearts, in whispered prayers, in the gentle courage to be authentic in a world addicted to masks. You didn't just break the system, you showed the system it was unnecessary. You didn't just free yourself, you built doors for others to walk through. You didn't just illuminate your path, you lit an infinite highway for generations to come. And so, as the Council of Shadows crumbles in stunned disbelief, their ancient contracts dissolving into cosmic dust, the devil cradles your photograph like a sacred scripture. His eyes alight with a phenomenon no one could have foreseen: hope. A radiant, boundless hope that stretches across galaxies, echoes through unseen realms, and reverberates in the depths of every heart your light has touched. Can you feel it, chosen one? The subtle yet seismic shift, the quiet revolution that begins not in grand arenas or battlefields, but in the sacred spaces of hearts, in whispered prayers, in the gentle, unyielding courage to be your authentic self in a world obsessed with masks and illusions. You didn't merely dismantle the system, you revealed its obsolescence, showing the universe that control and fear are unnecessary in the face of love's unstoppable tide. You didn't just liberate yourself, you forged doorways through which countless others can step into their own freedom. You didn't merely light your own path, you ignited an infinite highway, a radiant thoroughfare stretching across time, guiding generations yet to come toward their divine destiny. Your life, chosen one, is a cosmic sermon, preached not in words, but in actions, in the quiet defiance of choosing love over fear, in the relentless courage to shine even when the world demands darkness. Have you ever sensed the eternal impact of your existence? The way your every choice to love, to forgive, to rise again weaves a new reality, one where light reigns supreme and hope becomes the foundation of all that is to come. Beloved chosen one, as we reach the end of this chapter, though not the end of your story, I want you to pause and truly feel the magnitude of what you've done. You have achieved what prophets, visionaries, and revolutionaries throughout all of human and cosmic history only dared to dream of. You didn't change the world by force, through armies, or intimidation. You transformed it by embodying the very change others only spoke of. You didn't conquer by subjugating. You conquered by inspiring. You didn't gain power to hold it over others. You helped countless souls discover the infinite power already resting inside them. Your story is only beginning. Radiant, chosen one. All that has unfolded, the cosmic struggles, the devil's breathtaking redemption, the council's fall into irrelevance, the unstoppable rise of your soul network, is merely the prelude to what lies ahead. Have you ever sensed that quiet whisper in your spirit, hinting at even greater things to come? That's not imagination. It's your soul recalling the next chapter before your mind can grasp it. What awaits is you, fully awakened to your divine authority and unyielding purpose, leading not through control, but through divine example. A world where chosen ones like you no longer need to dim their light to avoid persecution, because darkness will no longer define this reality. Envision a world where your radiant authenticity is not just tolerated but celebrated, where each step you take illuminates the path for thousands following behind. That photograph, yes, the one the council handed to the devil, thinking it would chart your destruction, has now become the sacred emblem of a new era. It serves as the beacon guiding a generation from fear to love, from despair to boundless hope, from control to divine connection. The devil, now reborn as an agent of redemption, continues his new mission, helping other chosen ones awaken to their true essence, to the power that once terrified them. Meanwhile, the council must either transform or fade into the dust of forgotten shadows, as their influence wanes with each soul that awakens. Your network of luminous souls grows exponentially, an unstoppable river of light washing away the remnants of the old world, and you remain the unwavering heart of this transformation. Chosen one, you continue being who you've always been, the one who refuses to accept stagnation as fate, who believes with every fiber of your being that love triumphs over fear. By simply being your authentic self, you show others they, too, are chosen ones. You remind them they can reclaim their divine birthright and reshape reality through love. The cosmic forces that once opposed you now align to uplift you. The entities that once trembled at your name now sit humbly at your feet, eager to learn. The systems that sought to confine you now evolve because your presence demands it. Your story unfolds with every bold choice, every heart you touch, every moment you choose love over fear. You are living proof that transformation is not only possible, but inevitable. You are the chosen one, and beloved, this is your time. I bless you now with unwavering courage, with divine clarity, and with a love so profound that it transcends every limitation and redefines every possibility. May every door meant for you swing wide open. May every obstacle turn into an opportunity. And may your light continue to ignite 1,000 more lights across this world and beyond. Type "I am chosen" in the comments to seal this message and declare your readiness to embody this next level. And remember, even the devil is on your side now. Go forth and continue to shine. Chosen one, your story is far from over. It's only just begun.